Hello, good evening, parents. I'm happy to be live here interacting with you all on another important topic related to children, that is managing screen time in children. So let us start with talking about what does this screen time mean to us and understanding our children about the screen time, the world, how it is for them related to screens. See, we need to understand that as parents or as adults, we are immigrants into this digital world. See, when we were born, we didn't have this digital content, we didn't have so many smartphones, iPads, or all these things were not there. But for us, our children, they are like native digital users. Okay, they have been seeing phones, they have been seeing all these other media platforms since they were born. Okay, it is actually very much an important object, a part of their life, just as a shoe or a dress or something very important that we use every day. And children see us also using this screens, using mobile phones day in and day out. See, we as parents, we use them for so many things. So as adults, we are constantly using a screen and they are looking at us and they want to be part of this as well, right? So that is why children do want to have a screen time, or they also want to participate or model what adults are doing, because that is very much real for them. It's not that we can't completely avoid screens for children. We can't completely avoid showing mobiles or showing TVs to children at all. But what we can do is we can manage it. We can see how it can be used efficiently, or how it can be used in a way which isn't harmful for our children also. So let us look at the time limit, how much a child can watch a screen. See, I would say for children below 2 years, no screen at all. Yeah, very strictly I'm saying this to remind you, if your child is below 2 years, please do not give any screens at all. Because I'm seeing starting from as early as months, baby, infants, parents, the moment an infant is crying, a baby is crying, parents put that iPad or parents put that phone in front of the kid, and they see that the kid is like stopping crying and the kid is passively watching it, and they are thinking that this screen can act as a babysitter. This screen can act as an engagement tool for their babies. But let me tell you, there are too many harmful side effects of doing that. And what about children above 2 years? Okay, children above 2 years can watch on a limited time basis. I would say maximum 1 hour in a day. Yeah, 1 hour is more than enough. And that 1 hour can also be like spread across during different minutes during the day. It need not be at a time 1 hour. So that is what is the standard suggested by WHO and UNESCO and all. That is what they have suggested. Let us look at what happens if our children watch more of that screen time, more than an hour of screen time. Okay, see, let me tell you parents, every hour your child is watching a screen, okay, it can be anything, a TV, a mobile or an iPad or something, every hour your child is watching the screen, that 1 hour your child is spending less time on doing so many other things that are developmentally needed for your child. Like your child needs nurturing relationships at that age. Your child needs a lot of one-to-one interaction, social communication, emotional building, bonding. So all these things happens at that age. But if a child is constantly watching screen, the child is missing on that part. The second point is physical activity. We all know that children need physical activity. Their senses are very much active. Okay, they learn through movement and everything, and they need this fine motor development, the hand strength or the leg strength, gross motor development. All these things needs to happen. So every extra hour your child is watching a screen during the day, that extra hour is less spent on child's physical development. And the next last one is, every extra hour your child is watching a screen, your child is spending that time less on unstructured and independent play. I already spoke in the earlier session about the importance of independent play, how it is very, very essential for your child. All the life skills that your child develops, is supposed to develop, happens through this unstructured and independent play. So screen time doesn't give all these three things. Of course, it might help in some language development, it might help in some cognitive development, it might help in some behavioral development, understanding the world and all, but these three are more important than those things. So let us talk about what type of screen time is good then. I already told, we can't avoid screens completely to the child. We need to provide them on a moderation basis. So there are two types of screen time that children watch. Okay, one is a passive screen time and the other is an active screen time. So let me talk about both these things and then see which one is more helpful. A passive screen time is something where child is just a passive observer. Child is passively taking on that content, absorbing that content just by looking at it. There is no interaction happening, and the content in the screen is a fast-paced moving one, where it is moving at a fast way, like slide after slide, or lot of bright colors, too much loud noise. So child is taking in, absorbing, child is glued to it. Sometimes children don't even blink their eyes. See, we might think that child is learning, picking up a new language by looking at it. Child is learning some addition, or child is learning about some colors, shapes. But let me tell you, this fast-paced moving content, like where a child is passively absorbing, that actually detriments child's growth and development. Okay, on a long run, what happens is it inhibits in their focus. They are unable to pay attention once they go to school, because teachers are not teachers cannot be that animated, or our normal interaction with people is not that colorful, is not that peppy, is not that fast moving. So what happens is children pay less attention, okay, and their focus, their attention span, it reduces a lot. They listen less, and this also harms their communication skills. So avoid as much as you can such type of passive screen watching, because screen only helps in these two senses, eyes and ears. Okay, it misses on another important one, is touch, feel, and the balancing and everything. So that is an important part of child's growth and development. So whatever content or whatever information child learns, it doesn't help in their application. And one more recent scientific research about excessive screen time is children not able to make a mental imagery. For example, let me talk about what is a mental imagery. Okay, let me give a simple example. Imagine a nice fresh lemon. Okay, a fresh lemon. Now cut it into two. Look at that juicy lemon. Yeah, feel the juice flowing out of it. Then take that lemon and then squeeze it in your tongue. Feel a drop of lemon in your tongue. See, immediately as I am saying this, there is a mental image that is forming, and many of you might have that wetness in your mouth, right? Some water forming in the mouth because of the mental imagery that I was talking about right now. And children who are used to excessive screen, scientists are recently finding out and telling that they are unable to make that mental imagery, and this mental imagery is very, very important for all the cognitive functioning of our brain. We can't get a real experience of that lemon when you are watching it in a screen. It isn't a multisensorial one. Yeah, so this is very, very important. if that mental imagery is missing, your child will miss on a lot of mental development, communication skill, language development, imagination, creativity. All these things are connected to this. Now let me talk about active screen time. See, active screen time might be something where your child is interacting with the screen. Suppose there is a teacher there and the teacher is singing a poem and your child is listening to that poem or the song and your child is dancing along with it, singing that song with the teacher, then it is a kind of an active engagement where child is having a one-to-one interaction with somebody on the screen. You make a video call to your child's grandparents and your child is talking to his or her grandparents. That is again an active screen time. Somebody is showing some exercise or yoga or some music or movement, dance is there, and your child is watching and dancing or doing that yoga or exercise along with that person. That is active screen time. Basically, active screen time is something where child is interacting. Child is not passively watching. His body or his mind, all his senses are active. He's responding to that screen at the same time while watching. So this is the difference. And as parents, we need to encourage more of active screen time than passive ones. Create such content, look for such content, especially in foreign countries. They have this Mr. Rogers neighborhood shows kind of thing, Sesame Street or something. There is this Common Sense Media, a website that shows us age appropriate content that can be shown to children. So you take a look at it, whether the show or a program that your child is watching is developmentally age appropriate for your child, and then show it. Sometimes you can even turn your child's passive screen time into active screen time. For example, your child is watching a show like Peppa Pig or some other show. Okay, after the show is over, okay, maybe you sit and watch along with the child that particular show that your child is watching, and you have an interaction about it. Which is the best part of that whatever episode you saw? What did you like the most? How did you feel when such a thing happened in it? So when you engage with the child related to that show that a child has watched, and connect that show to a child's life, make it real for the child, build up a connection. That way you can even turn a passive screen time to an active one. One thing we can do is limit the use. Okay, set boundaries with the child, make clear expectations. See, on their daily routine, you can have a nice, a time, you can set a time, or you can set a limit that these many number of shows you can watch, these many number of rhymes you can watch. And once that is done, you can remind the child that we agreed upon this and now it is over. One thing that can help in managing child screen time is also looking at the 3 C's. Okay, 3 C's is child, content and context. Okay, see, you know your child better than anybody else. So understand what are your child's interests and how you can actively engage the screen that interests your child also. Maybe if your child is interested in animals, you can show like real footage of, there are these live cams of virtual zoos that are there. Okay, so you can show such real videos to a child. Yeah, and next is content. See, manage the content that your child is watching also, because little children below the age of 6 cannot differentiate between reality and fantasy. See, in the screen, if they see there is a superpowered child or a Superman kind of person who is fighting the bad people or something, your child cannot differentiate that person is fighting some bad people or something. He thinks that the person who's hit, he again stands up and walks and then he's fine and everything. So that is what your child also learns, and then child feels that okay, hitting is okay. If you are right, then hitting is okay. So children don't differentiate. They don't have that many things running, that many thoughts running in their mind. They just get into that character, become one with the character, and try to copy whatever that character is doing. So we need to be very watchful of what your child is watching in the screen. I tell parents, always be with the child when your child is watching a screen. At least stay in a place where you can watch, or where you can see, listen at least what they are watching, because it is very, very important. Use those parental controls and everything. You model first. Yeah, you model. See, we telling to children only 1 hour screen time for you, whereas you taking the screen time and watching whenever there is a message, you scrolling the FB, you scrolling the WhatsApp messages any time of the day is not right. So at least for that age group, because you send a different message. Yeah, so set that limit. You also tell to a child what is your time, when will you be watching a screen and everything. Let that be very clear. In my early years home learning program that I give to parents, I give this screen monitoring chart also, and I have a special idea based on which parents can monitor their child's screen time, and that way it is very, very helpful. Have a visual chart to manage the screen time. One more thing that you can do is like have some media free zones in your home, like the bed. Okay, the bed is a place where we don't bring any mobiles or tabs. The dining table is a place where we don't bring any mobiles or tabs. Okay, like that you can have specific places where you are there in that place completely with the child engaging in something else, not the screen at that time. And similarly, you can have media free times also. Okay, media free times, media free zones. Times in the sense, maybe at this time, eating time, no screens. 2 hours before sleeping, no screens. So you can set such limits, and as adults you start following, automatically that culture will be set up, and automatically children will also start following. Thank you for joining.